The other great achievement of Netaji Subhas Chandra Bose in Singapore was the formation of the women's wing of the army to fight the British. Netaji envisaged about it during his 93 days submarine journey from Europe to East Asia. He had something more in his mind for the female half of the population. At public meetings of 6th and 9th July 1943 at Padang, while in Singapore, Netaji announced his vision for a women's wing of the INA, inspired by the legendary Rani of Jhansi.
I am overjoyed to see that you have already realized that the responsibility of winning freedom does not rest merely on the shoulders.
He told his desire to create a woman's wing who revolted against in 1857. They were fearless, driven by a profound love for freedom. Today, as we commemorate International Women's Day, we pay tribute to the unsung heroines of the Rani of Jhansi Regiment, an all-women combat force of the Indian National Army, founded by Netaji Subhas Chandra Bose in Southeast Asia.
फिर भी तू न डर, तू शेर हिंद आगे बढ़, मरने से फिर भी तू न डर। उड़ा के दुश्मनों का सर, जो शे वतन बढ़ाए जा, उड़ा के दुश्मनों का सर, जो शे वतन बढ़ाए जा। कदम कदम बढ़ाए जा, खुशी के गीत गाए जा, ये जिंदगी है कौम की, तू कौम पे लुटाए जा। कदम कदम बढ़ाए जा। तेरी हिम्मत बढ़ती रहे, खुदा तेरी सुनता रहे। तेरी हिम्मत बढ़ती रहे, खुदा तेरी सुनता रहे। जो सामने तेरे खड़े तो खाक में मिलाए जा, जो सामने तेरे खड़े तो खाक में मिलाए जा। कदम कदम बढ़ाए जा, खुशी के गीत गाए जा, ये जिंदगी है कौम की, तू कौम पे लुटाए जा। कदम कदम बढ़ाए जा। चलो दिल्ली पुकार के, कौमी निशा संभाल के। चलो दिल्ली पुकार के, कौमी निशा संभाल के। लाल किले पे गाड़ के, लहराए जा लहराए जा, लाल किले पे गाड़ के, लहराए जा लहराए जा। कदम कदम बढ़ाए जा, खुशी के गीत गाए जा, ये जिंदगी है कौम की, तू कौम पे लुटाए जा। कदम कदम बढ़ाए जा, कदम कदम बढ़ाए जा, कदम कदम बढ़ाए जा।
First woman to respond was Dr. Lakshmi Swaminathan, née Sahgal, a medical doctor who came to Singapore in 1940, daughter of an English-educated Madras, now Chennai barrister. She decided to give a surprise to Netaji. Together with 2 prominent community leaders and 20 other women,
Subhashini Ali, Dr. Lakshmi's daughter, tells us how Netaji convinced those who were initially not in favor of this idea.
He didn't agree with them, and he said, you just find one woman who can be developed into a leader, and then you see what we do. You don't know Indian women. And he said that they are once they decide to do something, then you can't move them. They don't surrender.
Subhashini Ali recalls the story of how her mother, Dr. Lakshmi, came to be associated with Netaji and the Rani of Jhansi Women's Regiment of the INA.
So then he said, what about that lady doctor who came to meet me? Why don't you send for her now? So she came at night. And then he immediately put this proposal, and she was so excited because she was actually feeling that there's no role for her in all this excitement that was surrounding her, and there was nothing for her. So she immediately agreed and said that nothing could be more, what I would like to do than that. So then he said, well, when can you start work? She said, tomorrow. What about your practice? He said, no, I just put a lock on my clinic. And she started. The next morning, they found her in an office. And then, that office was improved, and then she was given a ground, and then the recruitment started. And it's very interesting because Netaji was so involved that he would go with her also, or take her with him to different parts of Southeast Asia where they would appeal for women to come forward. Most of the recruits came from very poor backgrounds. And most of them were South Indians, Kerala and Tamil Nadu. About, I think, 75%. They were the ones who came and became Ranis.
The girls presented a guard of honor to Bose on 12th July. Big part in organizing the women at this stage was played by a lady called Daisy Chidambaram.
Dr. Lakshmi Swaminathan was the first to volunteer, travelling through Singapore, Malaya and Burma, rallying others to their cause. For many, this was a chance to break free from a mundane life, to do or die for India's freedom.
The story of Lakshmi's deputy commander is also an interesting one. Janaki Devar, just 18, was from an affluent Tamil family of Kuala Lumpur.
Many stories have been told about that, how she went to the Padang and heard him speak, and how she had told my grandfather that she was just going for a bicycle ride. But then she spent pretty much the whole afternoon waiting for him.
The young Janaki was so moved by Netaji's words that she even gave away her gold ornaments when he called for donations and volunteers. She and a group of girls then signed up for the regiment and left to train in Singapore.
There were a group of Tamil young lady Tamils, all educated in convents. There was somebody called Devani, and then her sister. Then there was my mother's sister called Papati. They seemed to have grouped and joined. And the instigator behind this was my mother. So she was obviously sufficiently moved. And so she got my grandfather to agree because all these girls were going as well. But I don't think my grandfather could have dissuaded her in any case, any event, because she was quite a willful person and strong-minded, and remained that way all her life.
Training was rigorous, handling rifles, machine guns, grenades and mortars 6 days a week from early morning. In Rangoon, Dr. Lakshmi expanded the regiment, setting up medical aid and supply groups. These brave women stood side by side with their male counterparts, ready for combat despite the monsoon rains, snake-infested jungles and constant bombings. It was quite a sight to see a women's guard of honour in white saris presenting arms to Netaji. Lakshmi recruited Janaki Athi Nahapan, née Dava, and her sister Papathi from KL, and from Ipo Rasama and Ponnamma Navaratnam. These four, with Lakshmi, started speaking at rallies and visiting reluctant, well-to-do parents to allow their daughters to join the struggle. They started recruiting well-educated young women from Singapore, Malaya and Burma. They impressed everybody, and even thousands of young teenage girls from rubber plantations of Malaya and Burma started coming in hundreds and joining RJR. Training of the RJR was rigorous and grueling. Some of the girls found these rifles too heavy, especially Enfield rifles. In the evening, girls organised variety shows and plays. Lakshmi wrote and produced the famous play Freedom of Death. To see the spirit and these girls' determination, General Renya Mutaguchi, a Japanese general, was astonished as there was no place for women in military tradition in Japanese culture. December 1943. Netaji moved the headquarters of INA and Free India Provisional Government to Rangoon, Burma, and asked Lakshmi to open a unit of RJR in Thingang Yun, a Rangoon suburb. Lakshmi also opened a branch of Indian Independence League to recruit civil volunteers to collect hospital supplies, dry rations for troops. They travelled overland by the notorious Death Railway. 30 March 1944. The RJR became party of INA officially. April 1944. First unit of RJR moved to Maimyo 600 miles away. Lakshmi and her troop left for Maimyo by truck, sleeping in them. 3rd May, RJR barracks were bombed. Lakshmi so bravely led everybody to air raid shelter. Fortunately, everybody survived. Between March 1944 and August 1945, war ended. However, superior British air power and resources forced a retreat. In a heroic 26-day march through the jungles of Burma and Thailand, Janaki led 500 women onward, while Dr. Lakshmi stayed to care for the wounded. Sadly, the Rani of Jhansi Regiment was disbanded by late 1944, and these women returned to ordinary lives, many in poverty, their sacrifices uncelebrated.
My name is Nalini K. Ramakrishnan. I am the daughter of Devaki and K. Ramakrishnan. My parents and my mother's elder sister, Mdam Krishnamma, served in the INA. Both my mother and her sister were very timid and shy women. But despite this, encouraged by my maternal grandmother, they signed up as nurse recruits and served bravely in the INA in Singapore and Burma under Dr. Lakshmi. I am so proud of them.
They had headquartered near the old jail at Bras Basar, where Singapore Management University now stands. A memorial for these forgotten soldiers would honour not only their courage, but the spirit of equality and harmony they represented. Historian Joyce Chapman Libra's groundbreaking research in Japanese military archives shed light on these brave women. Her book, Women Against the Raj, preserves their stories for future generations. Today and every day, let us remember the Rani of Jhansi Regiment. Their story is one of remarkable courage and selflessness, a shining example of women rising against all odds, fighting for a cause greater than themselves. Let their legacy inspire us to stand for equality, freedom, and justice wherever we are.
Rare audio of Basic National Anthem. It was sung in 1943 at Port Blair after Netaji Subhas Chandra Bose's flag hoisting of Tricolor Flag. It was voice recorded in Madras studio by Colonel Laxmi Sahagal and Associates. This national song is considered to be a valuable gift of INA.
तेरे नित गुण गाये तुझसे जीवन पाए सब तन पाए आशा सूरज बन कर जग पर चमके भारत नाम सुभागा जय हो जय हो जय हो जय 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 हो भारत नाम सबके दिल में प्रीत बसाए तेरी मीठी बानी। हर सूबे के रहने वाले, हर मजहब के प्राणी, सब वेदों पर मिटा के, सब गोद में तेरी आके गूंदे प्रेम की माला। सूरज बन कर जग पर चमके भारत नाम सुभागा। जय हो, जय हो, जय हो, जय 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 हो, भारत नाम सुभागा। सुबह सवेरे पंग पकेरू तेरे की गुण गाये, घास भरी भरपूर हवाए जीवन में रुत लाए। सब मिलकर हिंद पुकारे, जय आजाद हिंद किनारे। प्यारा देश हमारा, सूरज बन कर जग पर चमके भारत नाम सुभागा। जय